Shalom, y'all. Welcome back to our Bible study. Today, we're going to continue looking at the kingship of Yeshua, names that he's been given. And this episode is the Lion of Judah. Stay tuned. Shalom, y'all. It's Beth Shalom. Welcome back to our Bible study of the New Testament scriptures in light of the Hebrew Bible and how they all connect. So, again, as always, open up. If you have a Bible, open it up. Get ready. We're going to look at some scriptures. If you have a notebook, grab it. We're tracing right now the kingship names of Yeshua. Names the New Testament uses, and the Tanakh has been building up for us for generation after generation. We've talked about the word king and the son of David. And we tapped into Messiah and the word Lord. So today, we're going to sit with one of a very vivid title, the Lion of the Tribe of Judah. And that's found in Revelation. That title sounds strong, and it is. But Scripture gives this title a strength that has a particular shape, a strength that flows from the covenant of God. So today we're going to let the Tanakh, the Old Testament, the Hebrew Bible, set our roots, and we're going to then let Revelation show us what kind of lion Yeshua is, and you might be surprised. I'm going to read first Revelation chapter 5. We're going to do verse 1 through 7. Listen for some tension in this scene and the words that break that tension up. Revelation chapter 5, verse 1 to 7. And this is John speaking. Then I saw in the right hand of the one seated on the throne a scroll written on the inside and on the back, sealed with 7 seals. And I saw a mighty angel proclaiming with a loud voice, "Who is worthy to open the scroll and break the seals?" And no one in heaven or on earth or under the earth was able to open the scroll or to look into it. And I began to weep bitterly because no one was found worthy to open the scroll or to look into it. Then one of the elders said to me, "Do not weep. See, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, has conquered so that he can open the scroll and its 7 seals." Then I saw between the throne and the 4 living creatures, and among the elders, a lamb, standing as if it had been slaughtered, having 7 horns and 7 eyes, which are the 7 spirits of God, sent out into all the earth. He went and took the scroll from the right hand of the one who was seated on the throne. We have a very vivid picture, just like Revelation is in its entirety, of what John witnesses. And here in this scene, we have a scroll in the right hand of the one, so the right hand of God, who is seated on his throne. And that scroll is shut. It has seals, 7 seals, S-E-A-L, not the seals, but stamps that keep it closed, cannot be opened. And an angel asks the question, who is worthy to open up this scroll? And there is no answer. No one. Not anybody. Nobody has an answer. Not under the heaven, not on earth, not under the earth. And that's so astounding that it makes John start to cry. That weeping reveals what's at stake here. His crying recognizes the weight of creation's longing, the longing from the beginning of creation. We hear the groanings of the prophets, the laments of the psalmists who waited for God's justice to be brought forth. And in that silence here, where nobody's found worthy, that weeping of John is symbolic. Humanity is helpless before the sealed purposes of God. The redemption of God's creation, of our human existence, it requires someone who can bear that full burden and still stand up to the holiness of God, to the holiness of the one who's holding that scroll in his hand. And then one of the elders speaks up and he says, "Don't weep. Stop your crying. Look, see, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the Root of David, has conquered, so he can open the scroll." So this lion comes in, we see him from afar, and he arrives in comfort. He's a comfort to the elders and the people in the scene. That lion is the one who carries that covenant strength that cannot be overcome by the world, by the adversary. He is that one. To understand why Revelation here, why John in Revelation calls Yeshua the Lion of Judah, we have to go back to Genesis. Genesis chapter 49. And this is where Jacob blesses his sons, his 12 sons. When he speaks over his son Judah, the words are royal. They're spoken in light of kings. Judah is compared to a lion. There's strength, there's stability, there's rule, and there's a promise that the authority will remain connected to Judah in a way that shapes the future for Israel. So let's go back to Genesis chapter 49 now and look at verses 8 to 10, where Jacob gives this blessing. And this is chapter 49 is the blessings for all of his sons. So verses 8 to 10, what does he have to say about Judah? "You, O Judah, your brothers shall praise. Your hand shall be on the nape of your foes. Your father's sons shall bow low to you." Again, royalty. "Judah is a lion's whelp. On prey, my son, have you grown. He crouches, lies down like a lion, like the king of beasts. Who dares to rouse him? The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor the ruler's staff from between his feet, so that tribute shall come to him, and the homage of peoples be his." So when Revelation calls Yeshua Lion of Judah, it's saying the royal promise has reached its fulfillment. God's covenant did not break. The story did not go off. It didn't go off on a tangent. The same God who spoke through Jacob that blessing to Judah and established the throne of the King of David has brought forth the king who can carry that weight that's needed to open those 7 seals on that scroll. Understand here that John in Revelation, and even the entire New Testament and their books, is never trying to invent a new language for a new religion. And that's very important. The New Testament books and the scriptures that we read there are pulling from the scriptures of Israel, the Hebrew Bible, and saying, look, God has been faithful to humanity the whole way through. Now, that elder said, look, there's a lion of the tribe of Judah. So we expect John to see coming towards him a lion. We know what a lion looks like. If you don't, you're too young to listen to this. We know what a lion looks like. It's a cat. It's a big cat with big claws and big paws. He's fierce. He's obvious. He's very dominating. He's very scary. You fear that beast coming towards you. But John turns, and what he sees is very extraordinary. He sees a lamb standing as if it had been slaughtered. Sit with that. That is one of the most important, probably the most important pictures of the kingship of Yeshua in the whole of Scripture, because it overturns our expectations of who he is and who humanity thinks he ought to be. We're told, look for that Lion of Judah. Lion's a symbol of power, a symbol of dominance and might, royal strength. But when John looks, he sees a lamb. A little bitty lamb. Not even a full-grown goat. A lamb. A sheep. Sorry. Not even a full-grown sheep. A baby. A lamb. Little. Defenseless. Pure. Sweet. Pretty. And when we think of lambs in Scripture and in Bible language, it's always with the imagery of sacrifice, gentleness, vulnerable. So what we find out is that God's victory through the Lion of the tribe of Judah is defined not by might and fear, but humility and obedience. So when John sees that lamb instead of a lion, we learn strength in God's eyes is not revealed to us or expressed to us with power, dominance, fear. It's expressed through mercy. Redemption for God is not accomplished by crushing us, pushing us, forcing us, but it's bearing the wounds of us, taking on us. The lion conquered, yes, he did, but the victory of his conquering is revealed through sacrificial faithfulness, big term. It's the strength of the covenant of God that does not violate God's holiness. Again, remember, he's got a scroll in his hand that nobody's worthy enough to open up. It's sealed shut. That strength of Yeshua, Lion of the tribe of Judah, is not corrupted. It's not crushing to us as weak human beings. And I think this is kind of an example of how Scripture teaches us the difference between power and righteousness. They're not the same thing. Revelation here does not take that image of the lion to completion and shows its true meaning. When you confess Yeshua as the Lion of the tribe of Judah, you're not confessing to a king of an empire, a continual line of human authority. You're confessing to a king whose strength comes through the covenant, whose victory comes through obedience. He was obedient to God, even to his death. So I think the question here in Romans 5, even though it is, who is strong enough? It's not who's strong enough, right? It's not who is strong enough. No, it's who is worthy. Worthy is a moral word. It's a word that asks us about whose character is good enough. Yeshua is worthy enough because his character is good enough, because his kingship is righteous. He's worthy because he's not been corrupted by human power. He's worthy because he gave himself in faithfulness to the Father for the love of the people. And so when he takes that scroll, heaven responds with worship. The heavenly folks around him say, you are worthy, for you were slaughtered, and by your blood, ransom for God's saints from every tribe, language, people, and nation. That is where his kingship becomes global in this biblical sense. The Lion of Judah is not only for Judah. Judah is the root. Covenant with Israel is the root. Israel's scriptures are the root. But from that root, the nations gather into worship. So this title carries both particularity and promises. It honors Judah. It honors Judah and his place in the line of the kingship of David, and then the line of the kingship of Yeshua, because Yeshua is humanly a descendant of David. It honors Judah, but then it extends redemption further out than just Israel. Now, how do we incorporate all of that into today, 2026? If the Lion of the tribe of Judah rules in righteousness, then his people learn to be a particular type of courageous. This type of courage protects. It doesn't need to be dominated to feel secure. This title becomes a pattern that people need to follow. The king we serve rules without any type of human corruption, human vanity. So we learn to lead with the type of integrity and the type of character that this Lion of the tribe of Judah emits. We hold authority that we have with trust. We don't weaponize it. He is the one who can open what nobody else can open. You can entrust yourself and all the days of your life to that Lion of Judah because his strength is righteous. That Lion of the tribe of Judah holds the strength of the covenants of God. He's the royal fulfillment of Judah's blessing and the hope of David. And Revelation shows us the beauty is that he is victorious. He's also a lion that's seen when you see him as a lamb, faithful, worthy, standing there, reigning beside the one who holds the scroll. Powerful. Hope you enjoyed that. Next lesson, we're going to stay right there in Revelation chapter 5, and we're going to look at the root of David, because they do connect with each other. You can't have one without the other. We'll trace that promise of the root of David, and we'll talk about what it means when the king is both the root and the heir together. So, stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Shalom, y'all. Bye.